Hi everybody, let us cover the topic of connectors. See how connectors comes up to be a really important topic when we learn English. Because the people who have a lot of gaps, these connectors work as wonders. So eliminate all the pauses or the gaps in your language by using connectors. Connectors is one of my favorite topic. Even I put more emphasis than the vocabulary on connectors because connectors helps you to fill the fillers. We will today see the different kind of connectors and the different situations where we can keep different connectors in a variety form, in a varied form. So let us see what are connectors first. See, connectors are simply the linking words. They are the linking words which help us to connect to words, sentences, or maybe even situations, just like we have to make stories. So first are the connectors of addition. You must be aware of the word and. When you have to say two sentences like I like singing, I like dancing. So you have to connect both the sentences. You simply say I like singing and dancing. So in place of and, we can use other words also like moreover, furthermore, in addition, etc. etc. Sometimes we also use the word also. Furthermore, in addition, and sometimes instead of using and, we also use the connector not only the first option but also the second thing which we are talking about. We will explain this, I will explain this using a few sentences. So, first example is she's confident and well prepared. These are two different sentences. We are talking about a girl who is confident as well as prepared. So we are using the connector and here. Next is he speaks English fluently. Moreover, he writes well. It is very easy here because they are joining two sentences about the same person using the connector moreover. And this is how we add the other sentence to the first one. So moreover is the connector of addition. Next is not only did she finish on time. This is the first thing and the second thing is, but also, did she score well? So she finished on time is the first task, scored well, second task, connected the both using the addition or the connector, like not only first option, but also second option. Let's move forward to the connectors of contrast. See, contrast, understand first. Contrast means something completely opposite. So when we use the connector like but in our usual language, daily language, we say that I like it, but sometimes I don't. So here we are using two opposite situations. Let us see what are the other words which you can use in place of but, or maybe you can use as a connector for contrast. Second is however. Third is although or though. Next is whereas. Next is on the other hand, or maybe you can also use nevertheless. Whenever you have to use nevertheless, just understand when you say in spite of some particular thing, so you use nevertheless at the same place. Okay. So examples are he's shy but very talented. Again, two different situations, completely opposite. On one side, the person is shy. On the one side, they are saying he's very talented. We are using the connector of contrast here, and that is but. Next is, although it was difficult, she did not give up. So when we are saying this, we are using the word although. Although is the word which is making us contrast the whole situation and understand the situation better. She prefers tea, whereas I like coffee. So here again, there are two different situations because the options are completely opposite. One likes tea, the other like coffee. How are we able to see the contrast? Just because we are using whereas, right? Next is the connector for cause and effect. When we're talking about something, there are some topics, just like take example of pollution these days in winter. So pollution has certain causes and also effects. But there are some words which help us to maintain the flow and fluency while we are talking about pollution's cause and effect. So first understand which are the connectors for showing this cause and effect. So it is just like because, so, therefore, as a result, due to, since, these are the connectors. Example, he was late because of traffic. So when we see that the cause was traffic and the result was that he is late. Next is he practiced daily, therefore her speaking improved. Again, the cause is the daily practice and the result is that the speaking improved. And this is what we suggest to you too. The class was cancelled. As a result, the students stayed at home. So the students stayed at home is cause or effect? Yes, it is the effect. It is the result. Why did they stay at home? Because the class was cancelled. How did we get to know about this condition? By using as a result. Next is the connectors for sequence or order. When we have to make something very clear what the person has to do one after the other, we use these connectors. These are very easy to use, but you must know that you have to use it intentionally in your initial days. Later on, it will become very normal when you'll be talking to somebody. First is first, or maybe firstly, next, then, after that, finally, meanwhile. So, how to use them? First, understand the topic. Then, prepare your response. Finally, speak confidently. So, see, there are three situations, and we are giving them a sequence and order just by giving them connectors initially. So, first, then, and finally helps us to understand the sequence. This will be very, very helpful to you if you are at some leadership position or maybe handling a team under you. This is one of the most important trait of communication skills, to be very clear, to give order or sequence, the particular methodology or the sequence that you want to instruct to the people in front of you. Next are the connectors for examples. Sometimes you explain your whole topic using a lot of examples, but every time you can't say for example. So there are multiple other options. Instead of saying for example, you can say for instance. You can also say such as, or you might say like. Like is generally these days used as a filler by so many people. When they don't know what to speak, they say like. But it's not like that. Like is a connector which we use just to give example when we are explaining some particular thing to somebody. So, example, many countries, for example, India and Canada use English widely. So, just to explain that which are those countries that use English widely, we have given the example of India and Canada in this sentence. Next is soft skills such as communications are essential. So, when we are mentioning soft skills, we are clarifying the soft skills that we are talking about by saying such as communication. Next is connectors for comparison. Connectors for comparison are like when you are keeping two options and you are saying they're equal, maybe one is better than the other or whatsoever. So sometimes you use these words. These are not exact vocabularies, but these work as connectors when you're explaining something to the other person. So it's similarly, likewise, in the same way, just like. Now let us see a few examples for the same case. She enjoys public speaking. Similarly, her brother does too. So we are comparing the sister and the brother in this situation by saying similarly, we are keeping them at the same stage. Next is learning English is just like learning any other skill. So when we are talking about just like, we are comparing that learning English is like other skill. The two skills are compared by using just like. And again, we are mentioning that these both stand at the same stage. There are some connectors for giving emphasis also. First, understand what is emphasis. Emphasis means giving stress on a particular thing. Giving stress on a particular thing means that you want to say that this particular thing, word, or whichever thing you are mentioning there is very, very important. So, when you want to mention it, you use the word like indeed, or maybe in fact, above all, or maybe especially too. Let us see a few examples. He is indeed a confident speaker. See, in this sentence, you could have simply said he is a confident speaker, but then you're mentioning indeed here. What is indeed doing? Indeed is a connector which is just emphasizing on the quality of this particular speaker, that he's a very confident speaker. Next is above all, practice regularly. You could have simply said practice regularly, but when you say above all, you're laying a lot of stress on the particular suggestion that you're giving to some other person. Last are the connectors for conclusion. See, this is a very general fact which I tell to most of my students, that if you're standing on the stage or maybe in front of so many people or maybe two or more people and you're coming to just speak about some topic, everybody knows it. So it means that everybody knows that there would be an intro about yourself or maybe about the topic that you're talking about. But there should be a conclusion too, because everybody is in the flow. When you are detailing about your particular topic, nobody knows when the speech will end, maybe 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, or 15 minutes or more. So you must use a concluding word here. These concluding words are the connectors. So these help the audience or maybe the listeners to recognize and alert their mind to be attentive about what's going to be the next. So we use the connectors of conclusion, like in conclusion, to sum up, overall, in short. These are the words which can be used to conclude. In conclusion, confidence comes with practice. Overall, the course improved the fluency. These sentences are complete in themselves also. However, by saying in conclusion or overall, we are completely mentioning that we are going to finish this particular topic here. So this is all for today in respect of the video of connectors. I hope the connectors are easy and clear for you. We'll move forward to the next video, taking some more intermediate to advanced topics so that you can improve your English, fill in the gaps, and be the confident speaker. Take care. Have a good day.